Technical Bakugo. Probably my favorite, besides for Rapid, but, it's interchangeable. I'm making this guide before any others, purely because I got absolutely rage baited by someone who was subpar, to say the least. He barely knew how to do anything. But that is what I plan to stop here today, I have accumulated some knowledge from when I used to main him back in Season 17, and I am going to impart that upon you all, because I'm starting to get back into him because of the new mode. I am going to say it now that the clips for, me showcasing his abilities and whatnot are recorded before his recent buffs in Chapter 18, because I started recording those parts back in Season 17 when I originally got the idea to make this. So if you get confused why he has a single gamma at level 9, that is why, because he was still in his basic form back then. However, for my gameplay segment, he will be in his current buff state. So for his alpha, he will just, shoot out a large explosion that creates a small area of smaller explosions that cause damage over time. However, when aimed in, these explosions will circulate around a singular target. It will also damage other players around the character, albeit for slightly less damage, but still. Moving on to his beta, he will shoot out 3 small nitro bubbles that can stick to players. These can either explode after a certain amount of time, be triggered upon impact by holding down the button, or by triggering them with another explosion. In this case, it is an alpha that's used. When the beta is paired with a movement input on the ground, he will do a small dash into direction and shoot his beta out. However, when used in the air, he will slightly kick backwards like his alpha on his rapid variant. Because of this, we can really use his beta as a small quick dodge to trade damage off, without taking any of our own. Moving on to his gamma, it's a sort of mix between his strike variants and a Sorta Chaco's gamma, which means it can be moved freely throughout the air. You can also re-input gamma to make it stop preemptively and stop you from doing the whole thing, for whatever reason. Recalling back to a minute or two ago, you can trigger a beta preemptively with an alpha to do a shit ton of damage. There is also doing an air melee into a gamma. Fun fact, this combo is true on every single Bakugo. However, for my personal preference, it would have to be rapid Bakugos. Not because of its damage, I just think it looks really cool. And for his last main combo, it is ADS Alpha into a Gamma. This is, I'm pretty sure, his highest damage combo. So, as I have explained in recent videos, if you actually watch me, those people are genuine fans. Anyway, enough about that. But regardless, I do have a small storage problem when making these because, my phone has the storage of a genuine rock that it barely can hold my videos long enough for me to post them, and then I just have to automatically delete them. Which I don't have a problem with, but it does get a bit annoying when I have to go through and delete all my small little clips of me using the abilities, me doing the combos and whatnot. And on top of that, having an entire 15-20 minute game in there as well. On top of all that, it really gets annoying after some time. So for this, until I get a better setup for making these sorts of videos, I am probably just going to have this where it's a small clip of me using the character, and it's gonna be a Kahoot type shit. Where it's should I use alpha, beta, special action, or gamma, or whatever in this situation? And it's gonna have an answer, and if I got it wrong, I'll say what I should have done was X, and if I did do what I thought I should have done, I'll say I did this because of Y, if that makes any sense. Anyways, that's enough of me yapping about this. Before we get into the clip, let's first analyze our situation. We have a IDF soldier Nagant on the right and a Mossad agent Cementos on the left. Or other way around, I don't really know. And it is the beginning of the match, so that means we have no levels, but that means they don't have any either. So we come to our first scenario here. I want to use an ability to get the upper hand on both these people while also creating distance. What should I use? So here I decided to do a really quick beta alpha combo just to get some damage off because Nagant is a good range fighter, but she is way more formidable up close, which is an encounter I am not ready for at this moment. So in this clip, I ran away for a quick heal break, but now I am ready to re-engage in a fight going on right outside. I very barely missed my first beta on this Assault Might, but I want to do something else again. Should I alpha, beta again, or do a gamma? Here, I again decided to do a really quick beta alpha, because I don't want to risk being jumped abysmally. And ignore this absolute brick, by the way. But I do not want to be in that close quarters of a fight at this moment. So for a tactical evaluation, I would say, as shown by the clips, Technical Bakugo is a very range-based character that can also do his own damage up close. While he is good on the ground, he is mainly good in the air because of how much mobility you can have while up there. But this is not to discourage an up close and aggressive playstyle. He can also get rewarded by that too, by his high damage output gamma and combos that lead into that gamma. So all in all, he is a character that has multiple playstyles and multiple ways to use his abilities to get maximum value out of them. However, the playstyles that do work the best are probably going to be ranged and air-based. But, again, all of them work. Thank you all for watching my Tech Bakugo guide. I did what I made the points that I felt like needed to be made, and I hope that you feel about the same too. If you want to see any more of these, do like, subscribe, and comment who I should do next. I am working on Tech Dabi, Rapid Bakugo, and maybe Mirako, because I'm starting to get into her in the gameplay sense. And I'm going to go now.